In the summer of 2018, my family, along with several other families in the months to follow, moved to New Bedford, Massachusetts, with the intentions of establishing a new church. And by God's grace, He did it. In the summer of 2020, in the middle of a pandemic that was unexpected, we held the first public gathering of Grace Harbor Church. I've been part of church planting for almost 20 years now, and from that, one of the core convictions that I've developed is that God uses Christians to plant new churches. Not pastors who parachute in, not just a few people or a few families deciding that they want to do something new, but rather it's God working through Christians who commit and sacrifice in all sorts of different ways to establish new kingdom outposts where the gospel needs to be proclaimed. In one form or fashion, so many of you have been part of planting and establishing Grace Harbor Church in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Some of you have moved here to be part of this work. Some of you have given financially to pay for my salary and the salary of others so that we could pastor here. Hundreds upon hundreds of you have been praying to God for this new work. We're so thankful. I know it's hard to understand just how significant the role that you have played in this is from a distance, which is why I want to just take a few moments and introduce you to some of my friends who have been blessed by the ministry of this church, the ministry that you have been supporting, that you've been praying for, that you've been sacrificing for. I'd like to introduce you to some of my friends.
I'm Anthony Izzy. I'm a member of Grace Harbor Church, New Bedford. My wife and I moved up here almost 2 years ago now from Providence, Rhode Island, to help start this church, and it's been great. I think God has really moved in so many ways. We've already seen multiple people from the city come in and hear the gospel and continue to come back week after week after week, and I think God has used the men in my life, especially our pastors, and I feel like this is the first church that I've been involved in that has really created a relational ministry in the neighborhood and in our small groups. It's been such an encouragement to my faith to keep me running the race, and I think that our pastors are doing a great job of just loving on the body and serving faithfully.
My name is Joanne, and I am a grateful member of Grace Harbor Church. I had been praying for God to lead me to the right church that He wanted me to be with, and been praying that for a few years. When I finally got here, I knew that this was the church for me, because now I have a family that I trust, that I'm loved by, I can love, and they're getting to know me better and I'm getting to know them better, and it's just very exciting. When I was first asked this request to speak how my life has grown and what this church has done for me, all I could think about was where it says they were in a land of darkness, and then they saw a great light.
Good morning, everybody. My name is David Melendez, and I'm a member at Grace Harbor, New Bedford. We had a wedding here last year, and a lot of people just came together. So me and my wife were truly grateful for that, how the church has loved on us. The church has also loved on us when my wife was pregnant, by just blessing us with many gifts for my baby Amaya. Grace Harbor has also helped us out during the time where I was drinking more than I should be drinking, and I also have post-traumatic stress syndrome from the military, the follow-up, Pastor Morgan found out that I was still drinking here and there, and he said, hey, you know what? We care for you and your family, and this is what we recommend, that you don't drink for a whole year. I felt like there was rebellion within me, and in the scripture it says in Hebrews chapter 13 verse 17, have confidence in your leaders and submit to their authority, because they keep watch over you as those who must give an account. Do this so that their work will be a joy, not a burden, for that would be of no benefit to you. And it kept convicting me, like my pastor means well, the elders that have come together to come up with this care plan, they mean well for me. And so it's been 161 days since I drank alcohol, and I just want to thank my pastor and the elders, and for just like pouring into my life. There's been many ways that they have manifested the love of Christ, and I'm truly thankful and indebted to this church.
Hi, I'm Pam Macbeth, a member at Grace Harbor Church in New Bedford. And God has used this church in my life this year by affirming and bringing value to my identity as a daughter of the King through participation in the church and its activities and worship. God's used the church in my life this year also by affirming my preciousness as a saint as I journey with other saints who are sinners, as they communicate humbly and transparently who they are and how they've sinned against Him, as we point each other to His redeeming grace. The church has also been used in my life with overflowing gratitude, His word, His truth, and His promises through practical care, through cards, meals, and encouragement and texts, affirming just my value.
What the Lord is doing here, I don't know that I would say it's unique, because God is doing these sorts of things all around the world, but it is amazing. So on behalf of this little church and all these stories and so many more, I just want to say thank you for your giving, for your prayers, for your partnership in the gospel. Thank you for making these stories a reality. We could not have done any of this without you. We're so thankful for you. We love you.